Okay, so I thought I would go over some questions from members of my course, the Melody Experiment, and also from my YouTube channel and Facebook page. So I've compiled a bit of a list of questions, and I'd like to answer them for you guys. Okay, we'll go through this quickly. So the first question is, how much experience do I need on my instrument before I can start writing songs? So the quick answer is, not a lot, okay? So you don't have to worry about becoming like a virtuoso on your instrument before you can start writing. The reality is that inspiration and creativity can come out at any moment. But of course, it's good to have your basics down. It's good to know your fundamentals at least, okay? So in the beginning, when I first started, just like everybody, I was like, okay, the G chord. Okay, so I'd look at the diagram and I'd be like, okay, that finger goes there, that finger goes there, right? It's like this whole, each finger was, okay, oh, C, right? But you get to a point after a while, after practice, obviously, and it depends on how much practice you put into it, that you're gonna get into a point like this. You can strum a little pattern. And now, creativity can come through. You can feel it. Simple pattern. It allows you though, because you have that freedom. So my suggestion is, practice your instrument as much as possible and get to that point where you at least have the fundamentals down and then allow the inspiration to come through. Okay? All right, next question. So this one is a little more technical and it has to do with an audio interface. So the question is, what is a good audio interface to use when recording vocals and guitar? So look, audio interfaces are a dime a dozen. The market is saturated, okay? They're everywhere. There's all kinds of audio interfaces. And like I've covered in another video, you really can't go wrong these days. Even the cheapest ones offer amazing conversion and pretty decent preamps. The most popular one right now is this one. One of the most popular ones. It's a Focusrite 2i2, I believe it is. The Focusrite 2i2, I've used this. I have a different one now. I use the Neve audio interface, which I love. It's more of a high-end one. I got it mostly for the preamps and for the connectivity. On the Neve 88M, you can actually you can use the preamps. This one also has two preamps, but with the Neve, you can actually use the preamps and then send the signal out to a compressor, return it back in before you go into your computer, before the conversion, which is a big deal. But with this one and many others like it, you can't do that. Once you plug into the jack here, whether XLR or 1/4 inch, it's a combo jack, so it's got both in it. That's it. You're going from here, you're going straight into the computer. There's no opportunity to compress the signal. And so compressing the signal is pretty big deal. So what I used to do is I used to use this basically only as a converter. So I would use external preamps. I would have external preamps and then go from the preamp to the compressor, from the compressor to the input here with the preamp all the way down. So I'm not using the preamp, I'm just coming through it. It's coloring it a little bit, but it's negligible, and then going into the computer. But audio interfaces will all do the job. This will do the job, okay? You want to record acoustic and vocal, you can't go wrong. I think this is a couple of $100, something like that. There's many like it, okay? Many like it, and they're all very, very similar. Like I said, the reason I got the Neve, besides the preamps, which I love, is because of that connectivity. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten it. Because I want to compress the signal before I go into the computer. Okay, before the conversion. That's something to take into consideration, okay? So if you're gonna just use the converter, then you're gonna need external preamps. Otherwise, you can just go through here. If you just wanna record a nice simple demo, you can do that. You plug your guitar into one jack, you plug your microphone into the other jack, and that's it. You record them either simultaneously or you can do overdubs, okay? All right, now the next one is related to this question. So what gear does a songwriter need in order to start recording? So obviously this would be one of the pieces of gear that you need, but if we're gonna keep it basic, okay, you need a microphone, of course. Okay, so I've covered this mic a little bit in another video where I talked about the Songwriting Studio, and you can go check that out if you want, but This is my Rode NT1. So I've had this mic for 20 plus years. It's an Australian company, Rode. They make incredible mics. These days you can't buy it looking like this. I think the NT, but look, they're really nice mics for the price. I think I paid $200 for this one back then. They're probably 300 now or whatever. I've got other mics. I don't really use this one anymore. I've sort of graduated to other mics, okay? I have a couple of mics over there, but that's another thing that you need. A microphone, an audio interface, of course. You need monitors. Obviously, you want to hear the signal. Headphones to record. If you're going to record acoustic guitar and vocal, you want to be able to hear yourself. You're not going to use external monitors for that, obviously, right? So you need headphones, you need monitors, you need one of these or a couple of these. You need an audio interface, and of course, you need a computer. So the computer is really important because that is really the heart of your studio. So that's where all the audio is gonna go into. That's where you're gonna have your DAW. That's where you're gonna mix your audio. You're gonna edit it. You know, you're gonna add effects to it and plugins, and then mix it down and all that business. So the computer needs to actually be able to handle the workload. And that is really important. Now, how much workload? Well, that depends on you, of course. It depends on how big your sessions are gonna be, whether they're gonna be fully orchestrated and arranged, or you're just looking for a simple, clean, acoustic, singer-songwriter type of demo, okay? So you're gonna have to look at those stats. Look at the stats of your computer, the RAM, an SSD drive, you know, the CPU. So whether it's going to be Apple or PC, I've got another video for that. Okay, I've done that as part of the essential tools of a songwriter, a songwriting studio. Okay, but anyhow, that's basically the main pieces of gear that you need. Okay, all right. The next question is, how much should I be collaborating or co-writing with other songwriters? My advice and my suggestion is that you collaborate every chance you get. The more you do it, the better. And with the more people that you collaborate with, even better than that, okay? Why? Because you're gonna get other viewpoints, other ideas, and other systems of songwriting and techniques that different songwriters use. It's pretty amazing. It'll open up your horizons, and it'll take you out of your own little box of songwriting, because we've all got these little boxes that we go into. Okay, so we're all set in our ways when it comes to songwriting. All of us have our own particular steps that we take when we're writing a song, especially when we're starting off and trying to get that inspiration and that creativity. And that's the whole point of the melody experiment, by the way. It takes you out of that box. It gives you other ideas and other avenues and angles to come in and write a song from a different viewpoint and using different techniques than the ones that you've already used. And especially ones that are efficient and that work. Okay, that's the most important thing. But keep in mind that different people approach things in different ways. Songwriting is no different. And that's why on the course, there's a lot of different techniques. There's many different techniques that you can apply. Use the one that you gravitate towards the most, but you get stuck. If you get writer's block or whatever, just move on to the next technique. And that's the beauty of collaborating and co-writing with others. You're gonna see someone approach it in a different way, guaranteed. You know, we're all individuals, we're all unique, and we all have a unique way and perspective of attacking a problem. And songwriting, in a way, is a bit of a problem, especially when you've firstly established your song, you're writing it, you got your foundation, you got your chord progression, you got your melodic line, and you're writing the lyrics, you know, the inspiration can start leaving from you. You know, the creativity can start becoming a problem. It's like, what phrase am I gonna put in here? What am I gonna fit in this line? You know, with this many syllables, you know, it starts becoming almost a mathematical problem sometimes. It's like, how am I gonna fit this in here and that and whatever? So having someone next to you, or even, you can even do it remotely now. You can co-write and collaborate remotely with people, which is amazing. There's plenty of forums where you can hook up with other songwriters. I highly recommend it. So guys, that's it. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, so I don't want it to be too lengthy, and I want to do this regularly. I've got other questions as well. I'm compiling a bit of a list. and we can, do this on a regular basis. I can answer your questions, and I think it's better this way, like in a video rather than an email or a message, even though I respond to people. But this is better. It's more intimate, and I can pick up the guitar if needed, and I think it's better. So until next time, take care.